Hey, it's Jabbo. Welcome to BrickTsar. I'm going to do a quick little video here about keeping your inventory accurate on Bricklink. I have here a container. This is one of the old milk tray containers from the 60s, but it's a catch-all for parts that seem to have gotten misplaced. I'm going to talk about it and why you should have some type of system for auditing and checking your inventory. And I know depending on how the size of your store, it's probably not practical to go through and check every drawer. When I used to work at a warehouse, it was Winn-Dixie. I worked at the Winn-Dixie. I should have worn my This is when I should have worn the Winn-Dixie shirt instead of wearing the Eat. This is the Eat, Sleep, Lego. This shirt was one of the ones I wore all the time back in the day because it was comfortable. But now I'm talking about Winn-Dixie. But anyway, in the warehouse, I think it was twice a year, or was it quarterly? I can't remember now, but we had to do inventory. And so what they would do, they'd get all of us to go through, and we just had to go count how many was in each numbered, alphanumeric numbered location. So we had to go, how many cans of beans or how many cases of beans are in this? And yeah, when you got 100 employees, it doesn't take as long, but it's still, everybody hated doing it, even though it was physically easier than the work that we actually did. But anyway, you're not going to have the time, no matter how, even if you got a small store, you probably don't have the time to go through and I'm going to count how many pieces are in the store. No, not going to do it. But I'll show you some ways where you can self-audit your Bricklink store, and maybe you have a better idea. And this also might explain, if you're a buyer, why sometimes the seller messages you and says he can't find the part, because that can happen. So I've been putting away parts in my store. This part, bright light yellow 1x4, is supposed to be an 8678. When I come over to 8678, it's got, these in it. And then when I go to my inventory and pull up 8678, it's showing both of those. So what was the mistake? Was it 8768? Oh, so now it's lost. So it means I made a typo when I put it in the store. So the question is how to find the missing pieces. There's supposed to be 8 in the store. And so what I have to do is go to my available lots and then just look for one that's not, that there's nothing in there. This could take a while. So there's 100 on a page here, 8756, and if I go back a page, it should be 80, it's 8656. So between 8656 and 8756, there should be 100 drawers, but I have one in here twice, which is this one, which means there's one drawer that's not listed on here. So what I have to do is scroll through every one. I'm hoping it's going to be in here, and see if I can find the missing drawer. So it's like my eyesight's not good. So it's hard to scroll. I'm just looking for a missing number, like 78, 79. So that's where we got the 2 78s. So it's going to be below. I got to find another one that's missing, a number that is missing. There's got to be one missing. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This can't be right. Oh, how did I miss it? Dang it. It's 8689. I hope this is it. 8689. It is. It's the missing drawer. So I'm going to go up here. Wow. And change that. And this would have been a mistake made when entering in drawer numbers. I probably put these two parts in the store inventory at the same time. Likely. I don't know. Just wrote one of the drawers number. 8689. 86. So now my inventory is going to be good, and I can put these pieces I just added in the drawer. I should explain better what I did. So the parts that are here, some of them are not in the store. Like I think this is like an extra little skeleton guy, but others are. Like I know these 1x2 lime bricks. I just can't remember what drawer they're in. So if I remember what's in here, that I will, if I pick an order and that is in that order, I'll get it from, try to remember to get it from here, or if I'm putting it away. Like I got these trays here of stuff that I'm going to be putting away. So I should look to see if any of these, like if they're 1x2 reddish brown brick, because chances are these are parts that, for instance, this green brick, I found it in a drawer. I can't remember which drawer I found it in, but it was like that. It's like, oh, what's that green brick doing in there? Because most of my drawers, it's just one lot, one item. I mean, when you open a drawer, it's only going to be one thing. So sometimes when you're picking an order, you will see that random fence. Like, actually, the most common thing is for similar parts to be mixed in together. Like, where is it? This, I know for a fact, I found this one. I was picking 1x1 white bricks. See, it looks like a 1x1 white brick, but it was one of these. So I just got to find the drawer that it goes in. So what I do, yeah, when I find those random pieces, I put them here in case you're picking an order and you're missing one. Because chances are, if you were doing the part out like this, I parted out this set, and if a part got mixed in with another part and you put it away, it could be months, could be a year later, you're picking it and the part's missing because it got mixed in with something else. There was the classic case of the decapitated head that was found in a garbage can later. Yeah, one of the green garbage cans had one of these minifigure heads in it. And yeah. So if you're doing one lot per drawer or a set number of lots per drawer, like you got a divider, some of the drawers, the Acro Mills, I think you can put a divider in them. So you could put 2 lots in there. This is the only way this is going to work. So if your drawer is just filled up with a bunch of random parts, this will never work for you, I don't think. So what I do, and right now my store is closed because I ran into all these problems. Normally this right here will say unavailable or available, and I will click that. And so now everything's unavailable. And so what this does, it divides all 10,200 lots, and each page has 100. I think that's the maximum I can do. Yeah, is 100. But what that lets me know, though, like number 1 is on page 1. So if I go to the next page, page 2 should be 101. Page 3 should be 201. That should be the first item. So what I'll do is, this is kind of how we troubleshoot bad phone lines. Is instead of just going every 10 feet and checking it, you go kind of in the middle. So we'll go up to 10. So this is going to be 1,000 or 900, excuse me, because 10 is the 9 through 10. So 901. So I'm still good. Now, there's a possibility if we do it like I did with that, like this piece here where I had it in the wrong drawer. If you have a piece in the wrong drawer, and you have a missing piece, sometimes it won't show up if that coincidence happens. But I think you're only get up to a certain point, and that will be like a 2 instead of a 1. Let's see. Yeah, 1402. And the reason I knew that was going to happen is because the order that I haven't picked yet emptied one of the drawers before that. But basically, you could scroll all the way up. We'll go up to the 25. Let's see. Boom, I'm still good. So the one drawer that sold out, so that should have been a 2401, but there's the one drawer that sold out, and you just keep going up. Now, once I get up to 5,300, it gets kind of out of whack. Oh my goodness, I'm still good. Get up to 43, see what's happening. All right, so now there's another, and that could be from that order also. There could be another empty drawer. So if this number starts getting bigger than what you expect, that means there's a drawer out there that's not in your inventory, that's got something in it, or you haven't pulled. Now, I have had it where you pull it out. Oh, there's the drawer. See, we're up to 4,203. It should be those axle connectors 3421 is already out, so that's why we, what was that, 4,203? Boom, axle connectors. Now, another way you can audit your store is when you're picking an order. Let me pull this order up off camera so I don't want to show their address. Everybody that picks orders should have this. I highly recommend this, but when you're picking, but it can lead to a mistake. I'll explain that, but first, when you're picking an order, like they ordered 3 white 2x6 tiles in drawer 19, which is right up here. All right, so he's got these 3 of these. I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the container there. There should be 12 left. Now, I'm not, when it's like 12, I may not necessarily count them, but if you pick those 3 and there's like 2, you'd be like, uh-oh, there should be 12 left. So this is important that you don't get mixed up. Now, I've done this picking orders where instead of picking the quantity, I picked the number that was left, which can be good for the buyer or it can be bad for the buyer, depending on if it's more than what they ordered or less. So things like this, these 1x1s, I'm not going to worry about that because there's so many of them left. But another little thing I do is like much like Lego does, with 1x1s, I usually have physically more there than what that number is. So sometimes I won't add the extra items. Sometimes I do add the extra items. Sometimes I take the extra ones from my personal stuff and put it in the store because I'll never use it again. Things like that. But so this is a good way to kind of audit. And so a lot of times when my wife's picking orders, she'll say, I picked this window. It said there was 12 left, but there was only 5. So you can preemptively at least fix what's publicly available. And then you can worry later, like, where did the other 7 go or whatever that was missing. So this is a good little way to kind of check your store inventory while you're picking. If you see a discrepancy while you're picking, you can address it. So another thing, if you are a person that puts multiple things in a drawer of different types, don't put similar looking things. And this is the one, I think I've mentioned this before on the channel, and this may be a moot point later. This is one of those part variations that I don't necessarily worry about, but by coincidence, which one is this? Is this the one with the groove at the top, the lip at the top, and this is the one without? I didn't do this on purpose. It's just how it ended up happening. The ones with the lip and the ones without ended up being drawers side by side. So that would be an easy one that you might grab the wrong one because you see the part, what it looks like. So I shouldn't have put those side by side. So I like to mix things up. Now, some people, they may have their store where they'll have all their tiles together, all their plates together. My store is just whatever the drawer was available because it doesn't really matter because I'm not building, I'm just picking orders. If you're building, you'll want to have things probably more sorted by part type. But in a store, it doesn't matter. And that's the way the grocery store was. It didn't matter what was in the next aisle. When a slot got empty, the forklift drivers came in there and just put something else in there. Yeah, as long as it was a record of it. If they didn't make a record of it, then that could be a problem. And so that's, yeah, I think that can happen. Other thing is, if you pick an order and you got this piece, and I had one of these, and there was 100 left, and I just closed that drawer. So I didn't take care of the mistake. That drawer will sit like that forever unless I do the audit. So you always want to make sure you don't close a drawer that says it's empty or close a drawer that is empty. You want to make sure you have some system of noting it. Some people put little sticky notes. Some people turn the drawer around. I take the drawers when they're empty. If they're empty, I throw them in this box. And if they're showing empty but have parts in them, I'll set them on the table somewhere. And another thing, I use these trays. These are actually parts. They're in the store. I try not to put similar parts on the same tray. So this is much like you would have if you had all your parts crammed in a drawer, but it still separates them like this. But yeah, don't put similar parts in the same tray. It makes it easier when you're picking. Yeah, and the same thing with these bead drawers. Even though the bead drawers are numbered, I try not to put similar parts next to each other in there, especially like wedges. The left and right wedges, sometimes put in completely different containers. Sometimes they'll be in the same container, but not on the same row or side by side. And like I did with the wood by 4 yellow, bright light yellow bricks that were missing, perhaps it's not that you need to check your whole inventory, but you notice a problem in a section of your inventory. As long as you know how your drawers are sequenced, you can scroll up there to the page, and then it's like I got some gaps in my numbering, so when I get up over 5,000, it suddenly jumps up to 8,000. So if I can know that I get to this point and I'll say, okay, the next page should be 85, 85, 55, because I know there should be 100, and it's not. Oh, it is. Very good. It is. And then I think when I get to 8,800 is where I get another problem, because I do have, we'll skip up a few, see what happens. Oh, wow, I went all the way up to the 9,000s. Yeah. So, okay, this is where I wanted to be. So 87.55, and then the 88 is going to be different, I think. Yeah. Yeah, because see, it says 88.38. That's what happens when you do stuff like this. See, I have the dividers in there. So as long as you know how many are in there, you can still use this method to audit your account. But again, I don't just sort by remarks and look for things missing remarks. One other thing you can do too is, and this is something you should do from time to time, especially after you upload things. So I'm going to go back to my store inventory, and there's this option down here to look for things that are missing my remarks. Let's just go see what happens. And these right here are things that are they should all be in my stock room. So there's 13 items missing a remark. And those, just look at them real quick. I know where those are. Those two are in those bags right there. The black wheels are huge. And then the rest of them are here. These are pieces that don't have a home. They have no home to go to. And actually, that's interesting. Oh, I know what these are. They're here already because they're in the set that I am actually in the process of adding to my inventory. And I've already put all the black pieces away. So those two items, that hat and the binoculars, I don't have a drawer for them right now. So yeah, I was uploading the up house, coincidentally. And I had got up to that bright yellow brick where I had the problem. So now that I've got that alleviated, I'll get back to adding the rest of these. Oh my goodness, a lot of parts. I hope if you run a store, there's something there that you can use for checking your inventory. And if it didn't make any sense, maybe I can do another video doing it with a script and making more sense with better visuals. But don't ignore, if you see a problem, don't ignore it, because they can snowball. And the little catch-all thing, that is kind of ignoring things, but at least I know where those parts are. And it's good to have a little catch-all thing, because I can't tell you how many times we've been picking an order, we're missing a piece, and it's in that catch-all, or it's in the extra piece catch-all. So this other thing, I didn't show the drawer, but I take all of my extra pieces from my personal collection. I used to save them with the instructions. Then after 20 years, I realized I'm never, ever, ever, ever going to use these pieces. So I started putting them in a drawer. And so that has come in handy when you're missing a 1x1 tile. I just remember one time I was missing some 1x1 light bluish gray tiles, and I was like, I need like 10 of them. They were all in the extra piece drawer. Now these weren't things from sets I had parted out for the store. They were from my personal collection, but either mistakes I'd made or whatever. But yeah, that drawer saved me. But yeah, make sure you audit your inventory. I'm not saying, again, not counting every piece, but have a system for knowing if it looks like there's less pieces than there should. Have a way of catching it. Or if the drawer's empty, don't put it back in there. Or if it's got pieces in it and it says it's empty on your records, make sure you address it, because those pieces could be lost forever. All right, I'm going to go. Thank you for ordering from my store, but it's like at the time that I'm filming this, it was closed. When I find mistakes like that, I just want to get them fixed. So that's where you'll see the little, if you see my store and it says working on inventory, that's usually what it is. I'm uploading a big order that I don't want to cause problems, or when I say big order, a big part out, not an order. I'm uploading a big part out. And usually those only take me like 30 minutes to put the parts away. But yeah, if I find some mistakes, I want to fix the mistakes. And I may do a video, since they got brick and knives on BrickTsar now. I may take the brick and knives and take those pieces. Maybe that could be another video in the future, where you just put it up on brick and knives and see if I can use it to find that part in my store. Because usually I do it the old-fashioned way. I look up the part in Bricklink and find it in my store. So I'm going to, maybe brick and knives can save me time there. I don't know. We'll see. What are you doing? How'd you get in there? That's not your house.